Shalom, shalom, shalom. YouTube, this is Shia Yeshub Judah coming at you with a Truth Be Told Flex Podcast Extra. You know, it's really impossible to be black and on top here in America. And it looked like our latest victim is going to be Jonathan Majors. The power of mass media. You guys have heard me say it time and time again that I believe that media is a weapon of mass destruction. Because with media and those that own media, they have the ability to puff people up. They have the ability to make people famous. They also have the ability to ruin lives. We have seen them do this time and time again, the same thing over and over again. We're seeing it play out right before our eyes again. It was the media that made people think that Cat Williams was crazy when he was not. It was the media that was having people believing that Martin Lawrence was losing his mind, which he was not. It was the media who was trying to get you to believe that Dave Chappelle was crazy, which he was not. And now they're about to try to make us believe that Jonathan Majors is a sociopath. These people, you have to ask yourself the question, when will they stop? When is enough enough? But a lot of the times we could be to blame as well, because instead of us staying in our own yard, we always like to leave the entire neighborhood. And it don't matter how many times we done seen it play out with other people when they leave the neighborhood and associate themselves around a whole different group of people, how it plays out for us. Look at Bill Cosby. They humbled him real quick. Let Bill Cosby know, yeah, back in the late 60s and early 70s, we did allow you to, frequent with us in the Playboy Mansion and pop mollies with us and mess with our women, but we always had something over your head, and if you ever got out of line, we'll get you back in line quick. They reminded him of that. And now I don't know who cereal Jonathan Majors done pissed in, but he done made somebody's mad. So he has been arrested over the weekend for allegedly beating up his girlfriend. What's crazy about this is that Dana White slapped his woman. And we have heard more about Jonathan Majors in the news than we did that entire time when Dana White slapped his girl. Because there's a bias. Remember, I told you that they use the media to build people's careers, and they also use the media to destroy people's lives. And so right before our very eyes again, guess what we're seeing? We're seeing them taking a rope, tying it around the ankle of a black man, and gonna drag him through the mud. And if these individuals get their way, we're going to see a lynching. This would be the end of Jonathan Majors as we know it. And his career really haven't even started yet. The brother is skillful in his art. He has had some major roles and he killed every last one of them. But it always takes just to make one Jew mad, and everything will come tumbling down. And the thing that makes them mad the most is when someone has a backbone or stand up to them or just don't do what it is that they ask them to do. Then they all of a sudden become a problem in the industry. They all of a sudden become hard to work with. They become sociopaths. Let's get into this article. I actually got two of them on Jonathan that I want to talk about. Let this be known that this is not This is not, I repeat, a save Jonathan Majors show. I don't know enough about Jonathan Majors to say that what he is being accused of is accurate or not. So I don't know. But what I do know is how my enemy operate. I have enough information about them to say that everything that they're saying about this brother, I don't believe. Because I've seen you do this here time and time again. And this here seems like the exact same thing that you always do. Avengers 5. Lead actor receives backlash following arrest. Following Jonathan Majors' arrest on Saturday, the actor received major backlash online, being labeled among many things a vicious, cruel, abusive human being. That's slander, folks, by the way, in case you didn't know. The Kang actor vehemently praised for his performance in Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and said to be lead star in Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, was arrested in New York City for allegedly physically assaulting his girlfriend. Majors and his representatives claim he is innocent and the actor is currently out of custody. With this news, though, Twitter users began to speak out against Majors. As news of Jonathan Majors' arrest broke, Twitter users began making their perspective known about the Avengers 5 actor. So in other words, at the man's lowest point, or at the time of his arrest, Twitter users began to defamate his character. Back in February, filmmaker A.B. Allen, and I'm assuming this whose Serial got pissed in, tweeted about a beloved actor who in actuality is a vicious, cruel, abusive human being. There is a particular actor, relatively new on the scene, who Twitter has violently fallen head over heels for, who in actuality is a vicious, cruel, abusive human being, both professionally and in his personal life. And every new viral thirst tweet about him drives me insane. People have been printed about another individual. And what happens with the power of the media is that and these people that own the media, they know this. When the general population read this type of language about people, or they see certain videos that are circulating out there, what that does is it forms an opinion in people's minds. And we'll be quick to believe what is written or said about individuals and not know anything about them. How do we know that it's true? This could be an angry man who found opportunity to strike out. And now it's printed. So now not only do he have to defend himself as saying that he did not abuse his girlfriend, at the same time, he also has to work to defend his character. An actor is not much of an actor when his name is being dragged through the mud. And A.B. Allen knows this. Following the news of Major's arrest, a user tweeted, "Now we know who this tweet was about," talking about the one that A.B. Allen posted in February. Now we know what this tweet was about. With the screenshot of A.B. Allen's previous post, Allen then simply responded, "Ding, ding, ding, ding." Now A.B. Allen has a collaborator. How a man getting arrested in New York for abuse, for domestic abuse, tie any link to a nameless tweet that was created back in February? What you're looking at here is collusion. They tell you who put the original tweet out, A.B. Allen, but they don't tell you who tweeted, now we know what this tweet was about. A.B. Allen could have a brother. I don't know. People who's on Twitter, I'm sure y'all know who tweeted it because I'm sure you've seen it. I don't have Twitter, right? So I might be sounding real ignorant right now. But I still find it oddly strange that the direct did not name the individual who pieced it together that A.B. Allen was talking about Jonathan Majors. I would love to know how he came up with that out of that. Defamation of character. When pressed on by the user, now will not share more despite the public at large seemingly seeing evidence of what was posted. A.B. Allen explained, it would still expose people who have been hurt. That's what he said. But the truth is, it would expose him because he don't have anybody yet that he can persuade to step up and say that Jonathan Majors has abused them or have been abusive to them in any way. I gotta find those people. Let me decode this for you. That's what he's saying. The specifics of what I know, unfortunately, will still expose people who have been hurt and deserve to not become a part of some larger media inquiry if they don't want to. You see this code? If they don't want to. So I'm not going to get into the details, but now y'all know what the deal is. So I don't know no more than I knew at first. All of this is going off of what you said, but you have not produced any receipts yet, AB. You want me to believe you simply because this is what you said when you and your people track record is that we are going to put all over the news what we want to put over the news. We'll persuade others to think the way that we think. And we're going to crash people's careers when they don't keep us happy. It sounds like a bunch of Nephilims to me because what you're doing is that you're feeding off of the... Enough is never enough. You're too greedy. Jonathan, I have another article that I want to bring up a little later, but Jonathan Majors was so private that Hollywood knows nothing about his baby mama. Only thing that they know about is that she white, and that's the problem. Remember I told you, we don't like to play in our own front yard. We like to walk out of the neighborhood. So a lot of this ill treatment that we be getting, we cause a lot of this ourselves just simply because we don't like to stay in our own neighborhood. Society Theater co-founder and Broadway actor, director Tom Nicolai offered support on Twitter in posts that have since been made private, sharing that it's strangely a relief to know other humans were out there who understand. Now we got a third party that has entered the tweet game. Nicolai continues saying that many in the Yale and NYC communities later specified to be 2012 through 2017 graduates from NYU Juilliard Yale considered the actor a sociopath and abuser. Now, let me get this right. Just from what I know. I've seen Five Bloods, but I don't remember him in Five Bloods, right? So I'm just going to talk on what I know. I've seen Five Bloods, but I don't remember him in Five Bloods. But I do remember him in Lovecraft Country. I do remember him in The Harder We Fall. I do remember him in that. He's about to be a lead actor in Kang Dynasty, which is a Marvel hit. He was running an army commercial. You telling me, and this is 2023, you telling me that nobody in Hollywood had heard about this sociopathic, abusive attitude from 2012 to 2017 at all. And now all of a sudden, he's a sociopath. It's because it's convenient for you. You might be asking, why am I making this video? Because we cannot allow them to shape our opinions. I'm not a Jonathan Majors fan. I'm not. But right is wrong and wrong is wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Excuse me. They are derailing this brother intentionally. 11 o'clock news led with Jonathan Majors. 1 o'clock news led with Jonathan Majors. 4 o'clock news led with Jonathan Majors. And I'm sure it's been the same thing on cable news as well. Why are they doing this? Because the more you hear of Jonathan Majors and him being arrested allegedly, it don't matter how many times you hear the word allegedly for abusing his girlfriend, you're going to start associating yourself with Jonathan Majors as that's that guy that beat up his girlfriend. And that's what they want you to do. It goes on to say, I'm just going to say this about Jonathan Majors and be done with it. Folks at Yale and the broader NYC community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath, an abuser, and that is how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported. In response to comments about why it seems people kept quiet if they knew this about Majors, Nakalai explained that people have tried. It's both simultaneously awful to know he is still doing this and also a relief that he may never get to again. Who is Jonathan Majors that people have been trying? This is the same thing I said about Bill Cosby. The exact same thing I said about Bill Cosby. They talking about that. Those women back in the early 70s talking about they were afraid to say anything about Bill Cosby because of how powerful he was. This was a black man in America in the 70s. In the 70s. It didn't matter how many movies Bill Cosby had made, how many comedy albums he had made. It didn't matter how many times he had been in the Playboy Mansion. If one white woman had spoke up in the 1970s that he slipped a molly on her and raped her, Bill Cosby would have been put to a tree. Jonathan Majors ain't got no weight. It ain't like he Morgan Freeman. Been in the industry for 80 years. It's not like he's Denzel Washington. He not no Samuel L. Jackson. Many people don't even know who Jonathan Majors is right now. Many people have probably been trying to derail him before he got as popular as he was, and they were not able to do it, and now this is an opportune time. Oh, by the way, how many of you heard that the girl he was supposed to have choked out recants and says that it was all a lie? And the attorney also said that they have video to prove that Jonathan Majors is innocent. But what they're not telling you is that Jonathan Majors is the one that also called the cops. I just want to show this one thing and I'm going to get out of here. Jonathan Majors' girlfriend, 2023. Who is the Marvel star? It asks the question. And it goes on in the article, and it says Jonathan Major, although plays the role of a ruthless boxer in Creed III, claims to be more of a lover than a. However, the actor successfully kept his personal life, barely discussed dating anyone. But after recent headlines related to Major's arrest, people are scratching their head to discover more about the alleged victim, identifying as Major's girlfriend. Exactly. This is something that I was telling my wife. I said, you don't think that these people throw pretty little something his way to get him set up? Women has been men's biggest downfall since the creation of man and woman. You go look at why the majority of successful men fall 9 times out of 10, it's going to be out to get too close to them. Who is this woman? Is it really his girlfriend, or was it somebody that was sent his way to cause some confusion to get him arrested so we could start defamating his name? That's what they do, people. That is exactly what they do. It is to be black and be on. Jonathan Majors is the latest of the many that has came before him and the many that is going to come after him, as long as we don't learn how to keep playing in our own neighborhoods. Catch us Thursdays, Truth Be Told Flex Podcast, Truth Be Told Flex Podcast Extra. This week, this Wednesday, which is going to be the 29th. Yep, the 29th. We will be interviewing Sister Shalom. Co-host Ayo Ben Yahoo will be sitting down with Sister Shalom. If you don't know who she is, tune in and catch it. It will be live here on YouTube. It'll also be live on the Saya TV and also on Facebook. For those who have already subscribed, we love you. For those who is just finding out about us, if you found any value in the content at all, please subscribe. Hit the notification so that you will get every time we upload a video. With that being said, Shalom. See you Wednesday. See you Thursday.